Hey guys, so I wanted to make a sample video of what your extra credit video should contain so that you're fully aware of what I'm looking for when you're submitting this video. For your extra credit video, there are two different types of problems. The first one is a math problem in the traditional sense. You're given an equation, an expression, you're asked to solve or simplify, and you get your final answer. Okay, that's the first type of problem. Those problems are usually worth a little bit more points because you have to do a little bit more work. The other type of problem you might be asked to do is an explain problem, where a sentence is written and it says, explain if this is right or wrong, use examples, or it says, explain the mistake. Why is that a mistake? Can you fix the mistake? And so those are kind of the two different types of problems. In this video, I will show you one sample of each so that whatever type of problem you pick, you'll know what I'm looking for. For my samples, I picked questions that were not part of your options. So these are not the problems you could have chosen from. One thing that you need to have in your video, you need to have your work shown in a way that I can definitely see from a camera. So notice that I'm using my whiteboard for this problem. I very clearly have written what page and what number it was. So you guys, all of your problems were on page 73, and then which number. I've already done the entire problem with all of my work. And I knew that I wanted to talk about PEMDAS, so I wrote that on the side. So I've already got this all prepared prior to starting my video. Okay, so here I'm going to start my video in 3, 2, 1. Hi, this is Mrs. Gallagher, and for my extra credit video, I'm going to be talking about page 35, number 50. Okay, so here was the original question, and then here is all my work where I simplified. So to simplify the problem, I used PEMDAS, and the first thing I did was the parentheses, and you can see those right here. And in the parentheses, the first thing I did was my exponents. So I did 2 squared is 4, and then I did 3 squared is 9. So that was my first step. And then I still worked in my parentheses. So next I figured out what 4 minus 9 was, and I typed that in my calculator, and it said the answer was -5. And then for my final step, I did 7 plus -5, which is the same as 7 minus 5, and 7 minus 5 is 2. And then I knew that this was my final answer because it's only one number. So that's how I know that I was done with that problem. The end. So that was a sample of a just straight up math problem. All right. So again, show all of your work, explain what you did, and make sure to tell me which question you're working on. The other type of problem that you could do for your extra credit is an explaining problem. These are usually worth a little bit less points than the math problems because there's not too much math required. Here is a sample of an explain problem. Now, again, this is not the problem that you were assigned. I just picked a random different problem that I could use for an example. Just like on the previous problem, I have written down the page number and which question I'm doing. And then I wrote down what the original problem said. So I made sure to write down what the problem said so that I would remember to say it during the video. And then down here, I've got my math, my example of why I think this problem is wrong. Okay, so notice that you need some sort of example. It doesn't have to be like the book's not going to provide you with that example. You can just pick random numbers out of thin air for that example. I'm going to show you a sample video for this problem. So again, you can see what I'm expecting in 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Mrs. Gallagher, and for my extra credit video today, I'm going to explain to you the problem from page 33, number 9. And this problem said that your friend says that since -A is the opposite of A, that the opposite always has to be negative. And I think this is wrong. I don't think that an opposite is always negative. And here is my example of why an opposite is always negative. So if my original number is -7, and then I take the opposite of that, the opposite of a negative number is a positive number. So the opposite of -7 is +7. And that's my example of why an opposite does not always have to be negative. The end. Okay, so I hope this video helped you kind of see what I'm looking for on these extra credit videos. Remember, it is optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it can boost your test score up to, but not higher than, a 100%. So pick which problem you understand, make me a nice little video, and I will see you guys all tomorrow.